You can start.
Okay. Good evening. Bonsoir.
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 Okay. Let the present regular meeting be opened at 6:30. Number 2, changes and additions to the agenda. I think you have that on your,
We have 11.5, bylaw number 2024-39, agreement with AMO for CCBF funds. 13.3, support Township of Georgian Bay. 13.4, correction of resolution for donation to l'unité pastorale.
okay. We need a proposeur pour appuyeur, s'il vous plaît.
Not for that one.
Oh, t'as pas besoin de ça pour ça? OK. Numéro 4, disclosure of conflict interest.
We need a resolution for number 3.
OK. Was
Proposition.
Second.
OK. Tout le monde en faveur?
Oui.
OK. Adopté. Pour répéter numéro 4, disclosure of conflict of interest.
No.
No. Okay, c'est bon. Adoption of the minutes of the previous meeting, regular meeting of May 13, 24. With no objection, the minutes of the meeting held May 13, 24, as distributed, must be received, read, and filed. Okay. Continue to number 6. Delegations. 6.1, expansion of the ATV network by CVTTEO.
You can go up to the microphone.
Okay, on donne 4 minutes, OK, s'il vous plaît?
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
C'est bon.
Allez-y.
There's a PowerPoint presentation to facilitate the discussion, Mr. Mayor.
Je pense que je le rejoins pas. On a-tu un crochet? Je pense que c'est grand.
On va prendre Mimi. Oh.
On a un crochet. Tu le rejoins pas?
Moi, je m'enlever, je suis à côté, je pense, dans le chemin, là. Je vais aller prendre
OK.
peut-être la siège d'abord.
OK, parfait.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for
Oh, sorry.
the presentation this one.
Lui.
Let's just go like this. Is that okay?
Yeah, either that or you can go into slideshow and it will just be the image.
Slideshow.
Correct. From beginning. Yeah. That will work.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, members of your staff. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you tonight. My name is Dan Lalonde. I'm the Director of Municipal Affairs with the ATV Club of Eastern Ontario. Next slide. Just as a means of background, we are a not-for-profit corporation. We have about 2,000 members, run by volunteers. And we've increased the number of trails we look after. We currently have about 410 kilometers. We're also a member of the Ontario Federation of ATV Clubs. Oh, thank you. Next slide, please. The area we look after is quite large. It goes from the Ottawa River to the north, St. Lawrence River to the south, Quebec border to the east, and Highway 416 to the west. Next slide. This gives you sort of an illustration of the amount of trails that form part of the Ontario Federation of ATVs across the province. Obviously, Eastern Ontario is a mecca for ATV. The sport continues to grow. Next. Those are the trails that we currently look after, and we're looking at sort of expanding our network easterly. Next, please. This is an illustration of what we're proposing. It's basically a loop that would go from Alfred right up to Rigaud, but link L'Orignal, Hawkesbury, Chute à Blondeau, then Saint-Eustache, Saint-Anne-de-Prescott, back to Alexandria. And the links in pink are to sort of provide an alternative for shorter routes. Next slide, please. We need a number of approvals. We have obtained approvals from the county last week. They passed a new bylaw authorizing ATVs on all county roads with the exception of County Road 17 and County Road 28, which is near Embrun. We have approval from the nation, from North Glengarry, and we have started discussions with the town of Hawkesbury seeking a minor exception to reach the McEwen service station on McGill. So it's a very, very short addition to the network. So those discussions are unfolding. We're also in the process of securing approval from the county of Stormont, Dundas, Glengarry. So those things are evolving concurrently. I'm scheduled to make a presentation to the Township of Champlain on June 27th. And we're hoping that by that time, by the end of June, that we have successfully obtained approvals from all parties, and then we could go to the next phase. There are certain communities that will require agreements with our club, so that would be the next stage. And then we would look to implement the related signage by the end of August so that we can go live by September 1st. That's simply a target. If we need to slide beyond that, we will. So, next slide. I don't necessarily plan to go through each of those slides, but I've included with the presentation the rural roads and the county roads that we would utilize within your municipality. So Chute à Blondeau is here. This is Green Lane. I forget the road, the county road number here. And then next slide. We would continue on. I've proposed sort of a U to use graveled rural roads and to make the path more interesting to reach Rigaud. Next slide. And then traveling south towards Saint-Eugène, Saint-Anne-de-Prescott, and on to Alexandria. Next slide. So that's simply each section so that the road of the names would be legible on the information I provided to you. Next slide. So that sort of wraps it up back onto North Glengarry, basically. Next. We have standard signage, and those are installed on our own posts. So we won't use hydro poles or your own infrastructure. We have our own posts, and it provides a variety of directions and information, so on and so forth. Next slide. And then once the trails are properly signed in the field, they get added on the Quad-On application, which does not require self-service or Wi-Fi to be used. Once it's loaded on your electronic device, you have the approved trail. So somebody from the other part of our area or out of region, they would use the Quad-On application and know where to travel to get to, say, Chute à Blondeau for fuel, or the Carillon Dam as a point of interest, or south towards Alexandria. That's in French. Next. So at this point, I will entertain any questions, Mr. Mayor. I'll turn it over to you. Thank you. That concludes my presentation. I will note that we met with your CAO and your Director of restaurant superintendent prior to finalize sort of our proposal to have their input and initiate a dialogue.
Okay. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
Members of council, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Well, I think it's a good thing
Yeah.
for a municipality. It brings people around. Good for the business.
Do the restaurants and point of interest have to apply to?
No, no.
You,
There's no monetary exchange in that sense. What we try to do is look for points of interest, and we labeled them as such on Quad On.
okay, so you do the research for that?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
One of the things that we are challenged in this part of the area is for refueling.
Yeah.
Other than Chute à Blondeau, Hawkesbury is it. I'm currently having productive discussions with the president of Club Quad Trois Lacs, which covers Rigaud and Saint-Lazare. The dialogue is unfolding. What we're trying to develop is an understanding that would allow Ontario Trail Pass holder to use 30 kilometers of their trail to reach Rigaud. Those discussions are far from being concluded because it requires approval from their federation. If we're successful at that, then Rigaud becomes a destination for an Ontario Trail Pass holder, meaning one would not need to buy the Quebec Pass. It's 30 kilometers for that. If we're successful, then there's refueling, there's washroom facilities, and food in Rigaud. But at this point, I cannot provide any form of assurance
Okay.
that that discussion will be successful. It's ongoing.
Do you have to be, I'm a member of the Three Lacs in Quebec. So what you're suggesting, if we can go and fuel in Rigaud, you don't have to be a member of that club?
If we are successful through those discussions. I have drafted, in consultation with the president of the Club Quad Trois Lacs, which is the first club at the border,
Yeah, a member.
a memorandum of understanding that stipulates who would be responsible for what. The understanding at this point that's being tabled is they're responsible for signage, it's their trail, they're responsible for maintenance. They have initiated discussions with Sûreté du Québec, and they've initiated discussions with the Federation of ATVing in Quebec. But that dialogue is not yet concluded. There's a draft memorandum of understanding that's being circulated with clear clauses and language that, if approved by head office of ATVing in Quebec, it would enable an Ontario Trail Pass holder to reach Rigaud and not beyond, nor cross the river by ferry or ice bridge. It would be a very finite piece, strictly for refueling, washroom, and food.
Right.
So if we're successful, that will be a bonus. Otherwise, people will need to calculate the distance they want to travel to make sure they have fuel to make it back to either Chute à Blondeau or Hawkesbury, or travel south to Alexandria or the Herbs Plaza along Highway 34.
Okay, for d'autres questions? No more questions?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
if I may ask, is it appropriate for council to pass a simple resolution or to endorse, or like, what's the next step for us before we mobilize with our signage? Like, we don't want a misunderstanding or do anything in the field if it's not properly approved. As I said, I need to go to Champlain in 2 weeks to have the same dialogue and the same discussions.
Does
Yeah,
anybody want to propose?
I'll propose it.
Okay,
Okay.
seconded by Mr. Tranche-Montagne.
Oui.
Tout le monde en faveur?
Oui.
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 Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
See how things go quickly here? Okay?
Okay.
Okay, I want to proceed, we're going to move forward to 6.2, Sabrina McDonald, potential gas station, concession 1.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, and the administrative staff of Township of East Hawkesbury. My name is Sabrina McDowell, and I currently reside in Chute-Bondo. I'm here to speak to you tonight on behalf of myself, my family, our neighbors, and other residents of East Hawkesbury about questions and concerns about a specific property on the northwest corner of Concession 1 and County Road 14 that was recently sold by the East Hawkesbury Township. We requested how much time I would have to speak tonight, and unfortunately we were not answered. So I will try to get through this very quickly. We have a lot of concerns and questions. I don't anticipate that the questions will have time to be answered, but I'll try and read through this as quick as I can. So I was already informed that as of tonight, you have not received any submissions, discussions, or proposal from the buyer of this property in what their intentions are to build. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that's correct.
As you know, this property was placed on the real estate market by the Township of East Hawkesbury to build a gas station or other commercial business as it is Zone C2. Through email conversations with members of East Hawkesbury staff, we have been told this property zoning was changed in 2021. In researching the link provided, the only information we can find is that the zoning bylaw itself was changed in 2021. So we would just like to know where specifically this was advertised and when it was changed, if we could get an answer to that question, please. Since the lot has been sold, the new property owners have proceeded to remove every single tree on the property and well beyond their property lines onto MTO and municipally owned land. It has been confirmed the trees were wrongfully removed from the MTO right-of-way and falls within the MTO permit area. I sent an email on May 13th, 2024 to Mr. Hoffman questioning the cutting with no response. So Madame Desjardins, I address these next questions to you as your candidacy platform for councillor included advocating for protection of the township's forest cover, as well as to Mr. Hoffman. What are the environmental regulations in place requiring property owners to replant sufficient trees when they have wrongfully cut what isn't theirs? Who enforces these regulations? And what are the regulations for the wrongful removal of trees from municipal land and rights of way? We are continuously being told that since you have received no plan, you cannot comment on whether or not a gas station will be built on this lot, even though the new owners have openly expressed their desire to do so, and it was in fact what you, the town council, approved to market in the real estate listing. Regardless of the type of commercial property being built, this lot is on a corner, on a hill, beside a highway, and on a country road, with many children, people with special needs, and senior citizens, who frequently walk and bike along the side of the road. Mr. Lalonde has confirmed to us that the entrance to the property must be located on Concession 1 Road. This will increase traffic, putting road users at risk. So we would like to know, what plan do you have in place to mitigate road hazards? Putting a commercial building or business into a primarily residential area also increases the risk of reducing quality of life due to noise, light pollution, traffic as mentioned above, and safety hazards. What regulations are there in place, or what considerations will be taken to reduce light pollution on any new commercial build, and who will enforce this? What type of traffic control will be enacted so as to not disturb residents at all hours of the night, as well as reduce the risk of accidents entering and exiting the property, especially in inclement weather? If this is a gas station, it can be assured that not only cars, but large vehicles with RVs will frequently use the facility, being in close proximity to Voyageur Provincial Park. And what regulations are in place to take into consideration the noise levels at all hours of the day and night that may impact young and old residents in nearby homes? As this will now be an open public place, traffic will drastically increase, as mentioned. Break-ins and vandalism assault against seniors are a major concern, as well as child abductions. Gas stations are notoriously easy accessible pick-up and drop-off points for those with ill intent. So what security measures will be put in place to ensure the safety of the residents in nearby homes? This lot is located less than 750 meters from a provincial park, a provincially protected area. Which department or who will be responsible for conducting environmental assessments? What will be done to protect, for example, turtle habitat, which all turtles in Ontario are listed as an endangered species, especially in close proximity to the nearby Hughes Creek. The land surrounding this lot is identified as a highly vulnerable aquifer and significant groundwater recharge area. So what will be done to ensure the protection of our drinking water source in our private wells? As residents of Concession 1, we take pride in our homes and the area we live in. Many of us can be seen frequently cleaning up garbage we find along the roadside, and we all take excellent care of our homes. If you take a drive down Concession 1, you would be hard-pressed to find a home or a property not kept in nice condition. So I ask, with no council meeting scheduled for July, how can we voice any concerns that may come up for the August meeting? We want to be informed once any plan is submitted and be able to have an open discussion to voice any concerns. Who is responsible for this notification and how will we be notified? And what is an estimated timeline for this process to take? For example, once you receive the plan, how long before we can be notified? And how long will we have to wait until we can voice our concerns or ask further questions about specifics? I would like to thank you all for your time to listen to our concerns and questions tonight. I hope that this will open the doors for further discussions and future collaborations between the township and your citizens. And I do have a hard copy of this for you as well. For questions.
Has a copy of this been passed to the administration yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay, so you'll do so?
Yes, I will. I have
Okay,
it tonight.
thank you. Okay, members of council, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions at this time.
Okay. We'll go over these questions with administration and see where there are issues that.
There is a lot of questions, so we're going to have a copy of this so we can answer
Yeah,
these questions.
I have the copy here to give
Okay.
you tonight, and I can
Yeah.
also send it electronically as well. But we do expect to get answers to these questions because we have sent in several emails at various times without receiving answers to the questions that we've asked.
Okay, thank you for your presentation, and
Thank you.
we'll have administration move forward on your questions and
Thank
answer
you.
the ones they can answer.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
We have another presentation.
Okay.
Did you want to change?
Do you want to change chairs again?
Okay, now, level, okay.
It's 6.3 now. You want to announce 6.3 or?
Well, okay. Wait, okay, okay, will you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, my name is Eric Collard. I'm the Executive Director of the Prescott Russell Recreational Trail.
Yep.
So behind you is our annual report.
Okay.
And I just want to give you a few of the highlights that will
That's
impact
okay.
your community in the next, in the years to come. So,
Go ahead.
merci beaucoup au Conseil pour avoir l'opportunité de présenter ce soir. Puis merci aussi pour le travail de M. Tranche-Montagne. You'll see a lot of the highlights that we're talking about tonight. If you can go to the next slide, please. They coincide with his appointment to the council, and there's a lot of hard work being done in this area. En 2023, on a fait beaucoup de travail ici à Saint-Eugène. On savait qu'on avait quelques problèmes, surtout dans les 3 derniers kilomètres entre Saint-Eugène et la frontière de Rigaud. Je ne sais pas si vous le savez, mais Rigaud ont acheté leur tronçon du même sentier l'année passée. Ils vont le développer cette année. Fait que vous allez avoir beaucoup plus de visiteurs en 2025 qui viennent de ce côté du Québec. La culture québécoise est très axée vers le cyclisme. Fait que je pense que on va avoir une autoroute de cyclistes. Et même on est en pourparlers avec Hudson et même Vaudreuil-Soulanges pour se connecter, pour vraiment être l'autoroute entre Ottawa et Montréal. On parle aussi à plusieurs commerçants. On a même eu notre AGA ici à Châteaublon 2 en mai. On a dépensé beaucoup de notre argent, beaucoup de nos réserves en faisant le dernier 3 km qui est vraiment rendu vraiment plat entre le chemin Moore et la Grande Montée. Si vous allez passer, vous allez voir une grosse différence. On vient juste de faire la dernière opération de compacter le sentier il y a environ une semaine et demie. On fait maintenant partie du sentier transcanadien, qui est le plus grand sentier au monde, avec 28 000 kilomètres de côte à côte à côte. Fait que ça nous aide aussi pour la promotion, mais aussi pour plusieurs programmes de subvention. Ils nous ont aidé à faire le bout à Saint-Eugène, et on travaille avec eux autres cette année encore pour faire la planification stratégique, puis faire d'autres travaux pour installer les barrières à Saint-Eugène et faire d'autres travaux dans le coin. Our stats have gone through the roof. Of last year, we had just over 55,000 visits to our website, which for us, for a small nonprofit, is pretty good. We're averaging about 10,000 website hits every summer month. So, and then this year we're actually above those stats as well. Lots of great things happening. We're working with Rigaud and working with Ottawa to connect the two ends as well. We're kind of stuck in between, but we're seeing an increase in traffic as well. We're having some events. We had a cyclo summit at Fresne-Plantagenet in April that was very well attended. And then we're having some more events, including we're doing a 2-day cycle tourism event in the region, which will one of the days will most likely have a portion come through your municipality as well. So, anyways, you'll have access to all these data in both official languages. All that to say is we've been busy. We're a small organization, but I think we're trying to have as much of an impact as possible with the help of our board members. We have 5 councillors from the 5 municipalities that we travel through that are on our board, and they help us tremendously. And we had a lot of volunteers. We did a spring cleanup here in this municipality and others, and the response has been great. We even did a few fundraisers in Vankleek Hill and in the East Hawkesbury at the Vankleek Hill Vineyard, and the support that we're getting is great, and we're looking forward to another busy year this year, and then no formal ask. It's mostly for information. We appreciated we're working on a template for our it's not a tax exemption, but it's a reimbursement of tax dollars, because as a nonprofit we're still paying municipal taxes. We got it last year from municipality, so we're coming back for a formal long-term ask, so that we're just waiting for a template to come down, because we're working with the city of Clarence-Rockland right now to get it done. So we will come back probably in the fall with that, and we're hoping it's something that you can entertain. And if you have any questions at this time, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Ouais.
Thank you for your presentation. Merci beaucoup. Oui, Monsieur
J'ai une
Tranchant.
question, juste rajouter que avec l'école, on est venu donner des cours
Oui,
à l'école Fatima.
oui.
J'ai les photos même.
Oui, on a un programme de sécurité routière pour les jeunes. On fait des écoles à travers presque à Russell, incluant l'école ici à Saint-Eugène. Fait que c'est quelque chose qu'on continue avec l'aide d'un bénévole de notre CA, M. Serge Joly. Je pense que ça fait presque 10 ans qu'il fait le programme.
C'est une bonne chose.
C'est bien apprécié.
Oui.
D'autres questions, d'autres commentaires? OK. Sinon, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Merci.
Merci.
Merci Eric.
OK, on continue à numéro 7. Municipal Council Committees. Minutes of the meeting as distributed must be received, read, and filed. OK. On s'en va à 8.1, Drainage Department. Question?
Oui.
Vas-y.
Moi, je veux savoir si Eric a parlé au propriétaire aussi que le drain municipal finit, là. Parce que dans son rapport, il dit qu'il a tout fait ça, mais j'ai pas vu qu'il avait parlé à Alan Cunning puis à Trevor.
OK.
Est-ce que tu veux adresser la question directement à... On peut demander la question à
Monsieur
notre
Leroux.
surintendant. Oui, à
Ouais,
M.
ouais,
Leroux.
parce que, ben ça, tu sais, comme dans son rapport, le rapport est correct, parce que le drain municipal, il finit à la propriété où ce que la calvrette est pas trop bonne. Mais je sais pas s'il a adressé à Alan, je sais pas s'il l'a dit à Alan ou quoi, là, mais je sais que dans son rapport, le rapport est correct, là. Et moi, c'était juste pour savoir s'il avait contacté Alan Cunning ou Trevor pour lui dire que le drain municipal finissait à propriété. Que la calvrette n'était pas, était pas pour le drain municipal.
C'est pas notre responsabilité.
Mais non, mais je veux savoir, moi, dans le rapport, là, ça ne dit pas s'il était loin ou quoi, ou s'il a parlé, je sais pas. Pour ça, j'ai pas d'autres questions.
OK. Pas d'autres questions, pas d'autres
Non.
commentaires? OK, on continue. 8.2, Fire Department. OK, question?
Non, moi j'ai pas de
Non.
question.
Moi, j'en ai une. La feuille ici, elle semble que Emergency Incidents. Avant ça, on va les personnes qui allaient au call. Là, je vois que c'est changé encore. Y a-t-il un problème avec ça?
On ne peut pas identifier les personnes qui ont adressé au call, mais vous avez fait une demande, puis on vous donne les informations, sont en arrière dans votre cartable.
OK. Correct. Merci. Je les avais pas vus. OK. Y a d'autres questions là-dessus?
Non.
Non.
OK, on continue. 8.3, Rose Department. Bonsoir, JF. Avez-vous des questions?
Non, moi, j'ai pas de questions.
OK. Moi, j'ai juste un commentaire.
Oui.
C'était en sortant du village, là, la place que les comtés nous ont donnée, là,
Oui.
j'aimerais pas voir ça un dump site.
Non.
On a commencé à proposer de détacher des lots, là, puis des maisons.
Oui.
Puis j'aimerais que tout bien ça reste un petit peu plus net, s'il y a moyen.
Oui, qu'est-ce que j'essaie de faire, c'est que là, à chaque fois qu'on a un petit peu de terre de surplus, on en met là. Mais d'ici une couple de semaines, là, on va avoir fini de faire ce qu'on a à faire, puis je vais faire le clean-up.
Merci beaucoup.
Puis, vous voyez qu'il y a du ciment. C'est le ciment qui avait été enlevé à la paroisse de Saint-Eugène.
Oui, oui, oui.
Plus un petit peu ceux qu'on a des trottoirs, des affaires comme ça. On fait un stockpile de ça. Après ça, mais qu'on ait assez, on va le faire crusher. Puis ça va faire un bon granular pour faire
Ok.
des parkings, des choses comme ça. Fait que c'est du matériel qui va être réutilisé.
OK. Parce que j'avais demandé dans le temps des comtés de nous donner ça, puis ça a passé, ils nous l'ont donné, puis j'aime pas ça d'être. J'aimerais ça que ce soit une place un peu propre, c'est tout.
Oui, pas de problème.
OK, merci. D'autres questions?
Non.
OK. On s'en va à 8.4, Chief Building Official. Des questions?
Non, on n'est pas.
OK, s'il n'y a pas de questions, on continue. Unfinished business for previous meetings, il n'y en a pas. Numéro 9. OK. Donc, numéro 10, application for Prescott Russell Land Division Committee. On l'a fait.
On n'a pas.
On n'a pas. OK. Numéro 11, municipal bylaws. Numéro 20, 24, 34, fence bylaw. Ça prend un proposeur puis un appuyeur.
Karina.
Ah, pour les clôtures, oui, je seconde.
OK. Des questions?
Non.
OK. Tout le monde en faveur?
Oui.
Oui.
Adopté. On
C'est
sort-
assez bien détaillé.
Oui.
Il a fait un bon job. Oui.
Très bon job.
Ça veut pas dire des clôtures comme d'un champ hein, pour les animaux.
Non.
OK, on continue. 11.2, Amendment Procedure Bylaw. 2024-35. Pour un proposeur, pour un pouilleur, s'il vous plaît.
Ma proposition.
Karina.
Tout le monde en faveur?
Oui.
Adopté. 11.3, Bylaw number 2024-38, amend fees and charges. And the proposer and a
Karina.
Karina,
Oui, je vais seconder.
Monique, seconded.
Oui.
Question?
Non.
OK. Tout le monde en faveur?
Oui.
OK. Adopté. On s'en va. 11.4, Bylaw number 2024-36, zoning amendment 3555 Stardale Road.
Karina.
Ma seconde ça.
Jacques,
Merci.
question?
Non.
Tout le monde en faveur?
Oui.
Oui.
Adopté. Numéro 12, approval of the variance report. and
On
account-
avait notre ajout 11.5.
OK, excuse-moi.
11.5.
11.5.
Ouais. C'est le règlement pour faire l'entente avec AMO
Oui.
pour les...
Je l'ai ici, excuse-moi. 11.5, agreement with MO for gas tax.
OK. Je propose.
Proposé par Monique, appuyé par... Ça, c'est
Karina.
juste un petit brin d'explication, a little bit of explanation on that. C'est exactement MO for gas tax. On va avoir un rebate là-dessus?
Non, ben c'est le gas tax qu'on reçoit à chaque année.
Oui.
Faut
Oh.
renouveler l'entente à tous les 5 ans.
OK.
On était dû pour renouveler l'entente.
Il n'y a pas de quelque chose là qui va nous en donner plus. C'est ça que je regarde là pour
You wish. Non.
Ça va
OK.
pas.
Un proposeur pour un appuyeur.
Karina.
On avait Monique puis Karina.
Oui.
OK.
Tout le monde en faveur?
Oui.
Oui. OK, on s'en va. Approval of variance report and accounts payable. Un proposeur pour un appuyeur, s'il vous plaît.
Ma proposition.
Je vais seconder.
OK. Question?
Moi, j'ai pas de questions pour vous,
Moi
madame.
non plus.
Moi non plus.
Tout le monde en faveur?
Oui.
Adopté. On s'en va à 13.1. Sustainable Infrastructure Funding for Small Rural Municipalities. Un proposeur?
Karina.
Ouais, je vais seconder.
Monique?
Oui.
Tout le monde en faveur?
Oui.
Oui.
Ah, ça, c'est que j'aime funding for small municipalities, on a besoin.
Oui.
OK? On s'en va à 13.2. Support for communal decentralized water and wastewater. Proposer?
Proposition.
OK?
Oui.
Seconded?
Monique.
Monique, tout le monde en faveur?
Oui.
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 OK. Adopté. OK. MA 13.3.
13.3, c'est Monique que tu avais demandé de...
Oui. De soutenir la recommandation de Georgian Bay.
Ah C'est encore pour du funding pour les
Oui,
les
c'est
petites
pour
municipalités.
les petites municipalités, pour les infrastructures. C'est un autre pression au gouvernement provincial et
Oui.
fédéral.
Ça va prendre un proposeur pour
Tu
appuyer.
le proposes-tu, Monique?
Oui, je vais
Monique
le
l'a
proposer.
proposé.
Moi,
ouais.
je vais le seconder.
OK.
Ben oui, donc.
Adopté?
Oui.
Oui.
OK. Je suis certain que tout le monde est en faveur.
Oui.
OK. Ça va à 14, various.
13.4, qui était un autre ajout, c'était ma correction de ma résolution que j'avais mal compris le dernier meeting, que c'était pas 100 mais bien 300 parce qu'il y a 3 paroisses. C'est juste une
Je
correction.
le
ça.
propose.
OK. Karina,
Ma seconde.
Jacques.
Tout le monde en faveur?
Oui.
Moi, je vais
Adopté.
m'abstenir.
OK?
Oui.
OK. Ça, on va à 14.1, August meeting.
Fait que c'est devant ça.
C'est pour le changement de la réunion du mois d'août. Au lieu de faire le meeting le 12 août, je fais la demande pour le faire le 6 août parce que je ne serai pas présente.
Je propose.
Secondé.
OK. Tout le monde en faveur?
Oui.
Adopté. Numéro
Merci.
Numéro 15, Aimé.
On s'en va à huis clos. Alors, on va prendre un proposeur,
Karina.
Karina,
Monique?
Monique. Tout le monde en faveur.
Oui.
Oui.
Juste un instant.
demain.
Ben oui.
Oui.
We're back on.
La réouverture de la réunion à 7h37. Un proposant.
Karina.
Monique?
Tout le monde en faveur?
Oui.
Adopté.
Ensuite, correspondance, on a déjà passé. Les événements à venir.
OK, j'aimerais ajouter les festivités de la Fête du Canada qui vont avoir lieu le 30 au Centre communautaire de Chutablondeau. Beaucoup d'activités dans l'après-midi. Des talents, de la musique, des feux d'artifice. Beaucoup de choses. Le lundi 1er juillet, il va y avoir quand même la parade avec les tracteurs, avec Jean-François. Et le comité de la journée antique, je pense qu'il est là-dedans.
Oui. 36 kilomètres qu'ils vont faire.
Parfait. Est-ce qu'il y avait autre chose?
Bon, le tournoi de golf le 18 août.
Le 18 ou bien le 16 août?
Oh, est-ce que je me trompe?
Ben, t'as dit le 18.
Attends, je vais vous
Attends un
dire.
peu. C'est le 16, je m'excuse, Amy, c'est le 16.
Oui.
Merci de me rappeler à l'ordre, M. Transmontagne.
Écoute, ben, je suis pas sur le comité, mais je vous ai à l'œil.
OK. Le règlement pour confirmer les procédures.
OK, je vais proposer.
Ma secondée.
Jacques.
OK. Tout le monde en faveur? Tout le monde en faveur?
Oui.
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 Ajournement.
Karina.
Monique?
Monique. Ajourné à 7h39.
Oui.
Tout le monde en faveur?
Oui.
Oui.
Adopté.
Adopté.